If you want to start a TCG business, and especially if you want to eventually own a Pokemon store, this video is for you. Please like this video because you're going to want to get back to it. Let's get to the cool stuff. Okay, bye. TCG and Pokemon stores are a nightmare business, but you can make it work anyway. I'm Furious Jesse from Happy Tiger Gaming. I have a Harvard Business School Online digital marketing strategy certification. I'm currently in business school and I've been selling Pokemon cards for 5 years now. I just wanted to talk about the nightmare business that Pokemon stores are and kind of what you should do if you want to start on this path. So this video is to help you out. Play it in the background, just give it a listen, and then by the end of this, if you still want to start, hopefully you have some good advice. Here's the harsh reality of starting a Pokemon business. Everybody wants to have a TCG store until they see the numbers. For every successful one you see that's doing awesome, there's 5 that are failing, 5 that are barely making rent. It's just a fact. The margins are lower than you probably think. In many cases, you're making pennies on the dollar. So let me explain how this works. This is what I thought it was going to be. Distributors give product to your store, and then you give the product to happy customers. Let's use one product to keep it simple. Let's say you are getting Elite Trainer boxes, right? This is what you think happens. You make a profit here. You're providing a service, giving ETBs to happy customers, and you're profiting $10 off of it. That's what you think's happening, but this is not how it works. This is actually not at all how it works. In reality, you're getting super low allocations at first. Distributors are charging right now $95 for Prismatic Evolution Elite Trainer boxes, right? They barely gave people allocations. And now they're like, oh, we have more. We see TCG player prices, so we're gonna charge $95 because you can sell them for $110. So you have to buy them now for $95. So what do you think you could sell them for? Same $10 profit margin that you was thinking, $105. You're providing the same service. You're still taking very low margins. And guess what happens? The happy customers aren't happy anymore. They call you a scalper because they can go to Walmart or Facebook Marketplace and pay $50 for these, or they can pay $90 from a scalper. What value are you providing here? Charging $105 for this. And this is just one example of what happens when you want to create a store at the same time everybody else does and allocations get spread thin. Guess what? You have overhead now. Maybe you have employees. Maybe you have to pay rent. Scalpers get better deals than you by clearing out Walmart and GameStop, which is why you see actual store owners now trying to go to Walmart and buying them out just so they can survive, which actually hurts the customer even more and makes the customer less happy. At the end of the day, a lot of customers are going to look at you like just another reseller. They're going to go on Reddit and call you a scalper. They're going to call you a scalper, and you have to have the heart to deal with that. You just have to be able to deal with it, man. To me, it's the most important thing. It's called a unique value proposition. In business, this is the most important thing that you're going to have to understand. At the end of the day, you have to be able to tell customers, this is what I'm providing, and this is why you should get it from me instead of that guy next door. What are you giving the people that they can't get from Walmart, from scalpers, from TCG Player or eBay? What do you actually provide? What do you do the best? What do you do that's the most interesting? This is the reality of business. Opening a TCG store. Yeah, you're passionate about it. So is the 10 other stores in your city. You're passionate. Cool. Do your prices reflect that? Do you have any special services? How do I know that you're passionate, and why should I care? Let's say the other store has 10 people entering a Pokemon tournament. You have one other guy that sometimes shows up. Oh, but you're passionate, so that's your unique value? Cool. That's not as unique as the other guy who actually has something I can, do. A fun store. So what is your unique value proposition, and how are you going to get there? You're not going to win on this. Winning on this, scalpers are always going to beat you. And guess what? If you have a store to run, you're not going to be able to go to Walmart every day at the exact time, the people stock the shelves are. You're not going to be able to go to Best Buy, to all these different places, make your rounds. You're not going to be able to do it. People with no jobs can do that. You're not going to win. You can't win on price. Customers chase 2 things, okay? Customers chase price and customers chase experience. If you can't win on price, you're going to have to win on experience in some way. If you want to start the TCG store, the Pokemon store in 2025, you have a lot of people competing and they might be getting better allocations than you. They might have a better startup fund than you. They have more foot traffic in and out. How do you compete with that? You need to do everything you can to cater to the customer that cares about the experience, because you're never going to get these guys anyway. The fact of the matter is you might not be able to have the lowest prices. The fact of the matter is you might not be able to have the best experience that someone with money to dump into everything can. You might not be able to win on both fronts. The store down the street might win on prices. The store up the street might win on experiences, and maybe your unique value, maybe you can get all of these customers. The customers that don't need the lowest prices. If prices are past here, you won't get these customers. And if the experience is worse than this, they don't care if your bathroom's out of order sometimes, but if like the store smells bad, really bad, if the experience is this bad, you won't get these customers. You need to do everything in your power to get these customers. These are the customers that are going to come back week after week, that are going to buy Hershey's, buy Pop, enter your tournaments, see what's up, come in to say hi because they don't have life, whatever it is. You want the customers that want your unique value proposition. These are the customers that you're targeting. This is who you target. This is how you create your unique value proposition. Think of who you want in your store, who you can get in your store, and everything you do caters to them. Why would you cater to customers who only want the lowest prices when 9 out of 10 of your customers don't really care that you lowered the price by $5? And the money that you actually get from that, you can improve experiences in your store that they really want. So now you're making something better that they don't care about. In relation to that, the experience is worse, and that's something they do care about. What can you do best? You need to figure out you as a person, not necessarily a business owner. You might suck at that. What are your strengths and your weaknesses? Are you a funny person? Guess what? People might go to your store because when they talk to you, you make them laugh. Your prices might be worse, your experience might be worse, but for this customer segment, something that you don't pay for, you inherently have this value of you're a funny guy. Customers love you now, and you can win on that. And no matter how much money the guy with the real money down the street, no matter how much money he dumps into his TCG Pokemon store, he will never beat you on that because you're inherently funny. It's a God-given talent. It's something you worked on maybe. Whatever it is, you are going to win on that. Are you analytical? Do you understand business a little bit? Are you good on social media? Are you good at art? You know, you could have an art theme to your Pokemon store, you know? Can you get local artists to draw? You know what I mean? Do you have any other products or services that you can bundle? There's 100 things that are inherent to your situation that people can't mimic. So the word unique in the unique value proposition, you have to also think, you yourself, you're part of this UVP. How you treat customers, every interaction. Your first interaction with customers. They walk into the awesome store and that guy wasn't paying attention because he has so much product that he had to have his back turned. Your first interaction, somebody shows up, hey, what's your name? What set do you like? Oh, we're getting that in this time. By the way, do you play the game? What do you do? Overhead kills small stores. You have something called overhead, which means you have to pay money. $2,000 a month is rent, right? $1,000 a month has to go to you because you have to pay your bills at your house and you have to eat food or you die. But all of these numbers add up to something. If you're smart, you have a second job. Your actual job or your part-time job pays your own bills. Let's say you're new and your store makes $2,300 a month. Yay, profits. You lost because you also need to refresh inventory. You bought boxes for $1,500 and that's what you sold to be able to make this. You made $2,300 because you blew through this much inventory. Well, now you only have $300 profit, but you blew through $1,500 of inventory. Even with $10,000, distributors didn't give you a good price, something outside of your control. Whoops, you didn't get allocations this month. In 8.3 months, this $10,000 is going to equal zero. You didn't even last 1 year with $10,000 in reserves because you couldn't refresh inventory, because you weren't profiting, because you thought you'd get allocations. Whoops, you didn't, and it's out of your control. What do? A lot of you are good at making money with your personal collections, right? So it's like buy low, sell high. It's really easy. If price isn't up, hold and wait. You don't have this option if you have a store. You saw how quick your funds get drained. Rent. You have something in business. This is the Pokemon business. You have an inventory turnover rate. You can't just sit on product. It has to turn over and over. Even at a loss, it's better to turn that over half the time. It's better to take losses, and the money you get from those losses isn't stuck in boxes. It's better to take losses. You get cash instead of having a bunch of stupid boxes on your shelf for maybe a year. Use that loss cash to buy new product that might instantly give profit. You're losing 20% money by taking an L. But if the money you get from that converts into a win of 21% because you're turning over inventory and buying new product and making your distributors happier, guess what? That's a win. There's something in business called an opportunity cost. You can calculate it on paper if you want, but basically, sitting on dead inventory is not good for a business. You may as well just not have that money available. Just pretend you don't have that money now. Did I scare you yet? Are you getting anything out of this? Let's talk about solutions. You love Pokemon. You want to start a business. You don't care. You don't care what I say. You don't care what, I don't know, Alpha Investments or Pokenay. You don't care what anyone says. You're going to start a business. You're settled. I hate this. I hate this word. In business, I hate it. The vibe of your store is actually important now. You have Gen Alpha, Gen Z, millennials are on their way out, but they're still here. You can buy more of the product you know is going to win and less of the product you think is going to lose. You can diversify Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all the cool fun like Dragon Ball and all that. What's the one with One Piece, all that. Have a price point that kind of matters to people. Where your store actually is, what your business strategy is, your plan, promotion. You notice these words all start with P. This is the PP of marketing. No, this is called the marketing matrix. Your process matters to people. Physical evidence is another. These things all matter. So the vibe, the marketing matrix, and the unique value proposition, those are three things that actually matter, right? Don't neglect vibe. It's super important. Your content and your marketing. People suck at marketing. Stores that are on TikTok are auto winning. They're automatically doing better if they're winning on TikTok. But what you see is stores kind of go on TikTok and they're kind of like, I've seen 3 TikToks. Let me copy what this guy's doing. They don't have a strategy. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Like, oh, I'm going to go on TikTok and I'm going to do something different. Why? The people that are winning for a reason. Copy that. You're going to accidentally make it unique, make it your own without realizing, even if you try to copy it perfectly. Don't reinvent the wheel. How about you make money in a business instead of, no, I did it my way. I was special, and you're out of business a month and your money's gone. Woo, this is why they call me Furious Jesse. This is why. You need a YouTube presence and you need a TikTok presence. TikTok videos can go on YouTube Shorts. You can get the same audience there. The lighting has to be perfect in that 1 second. They've studied how fast people swipe. It's literally like this. No. Why'd they swipe? Why didn't they give you a chance? It's not their fault. It's because your lighting sucked and their time's more freaking valuable than yours. Here's some examples of what I do on TikTok that actually work. This was an easy 2,800 views. I just stitched a video in my space that was already popular, and then I gave my opinion or input on it. Notice how I use my certification as a visual hook. 11,000 views on this one without paying 1 cent. I said a controversial take in my space. Notice I used the same visual hook as before. 1,300 views, not the best, but the question makes people spend an extra second on the video. Use that to your advantage. It helps the algorithm. 22,000 views. Yes, that's me. Just don't do this. Don't do it.
How to find rare packs in Pokemon TCG Pocket.
While lazy, that video had clean visuals and the mispronunciation helped the algorithm. This guy's caption is in the perfect place. He says something controversial and his pack is perfectly centered in the center of the video. And he's using trending audio. Perfect. This guy's using no audio, so he loses that algorithm boost. It's quiet and boring. Day 43, that can work in some contexts, but not in the context of opening packs. Why am I watching day 43? Do I have to watch 42 videos first? Don't do this. I watch the attention graph. People don't swipe away if all of a sudden you have a visual hook within the first 2 seconds. The first thing you say, the very first sentence you say matters. It has to get attention. Hey guys, I'm Jesse here again. You're not Penguin Zero. You're not Moist Critical. You haven't earned that. The first sentence has to give an expectation. If you want to start a TCG business, and especially if you want to eventually own a Pokemon store, this video is for you. It has to be engaging. Don't reinvent the wheel. You have to actually use, this is crazy here, use what actually works. A Facebook post on a Facebook page, no one's going to see it. You're better off making a Facebook group. Facebook Reels can get people eventually, but again, same rules. It has to be engaging within the first second or someone's going to swipe away. Same with Instagram Reels, same with TikTok. It's called the TikTokification. You can have an email marketing strategy. You can have a TikTok strategy. A strategy is I have free time, I'm making TikTok. What is your TikTok strategy? What's your goal? You don't know, so you're not a business owner. You're just doing stuff silly billy for fun, right? So if you really want to win on the Pokemon card business, take TikTok seriously. Take Gen Alpha with a skibbity toilet, whatever. Take that seriously. This word scares people. What's your actual strategy? I'm gonna give you some examples so you can actually follow along because I know I'm psycho mode right now. This could be a strategy. Your whole content marketing is about you starting a business. You started by collecting, you're telling a story. All of your content ultimately comes from this story, and it's all a piece of the story of how I started a business. I started in my garage, I started this. My first Pokemon card that I sold was a Pikachu VMAX for profit, like me, and it snowballs from there. I'm telling a story that people can resonate with, and this can help with my unique value proposition. I'm a girl in a boy's space. Right? I'm a girl and I started a TCG store. Guess what? That's a different audience. Your strategy doesn't have to be story oriented. It could be experience oriented, like the live journey, right? So your unique value proposition or whole strategy can be based off of rip and ship, right? Hey guys, this is the vibe that you get from me, and my whole strategy is based off of the rip and ship vibe, the fast and now generation, but wait, there's more. All that stuff that you think is new, but is actually tried and true. You are a Pokemon store and you are selling Pokemon products, but your whole thing is entertainment. That your strategy is based off of entertainment. However you can entertain people, maybe you have wheels that you spin and certain people win stuff, whatever. Community driven is another example. You can base a content strategy off of being community driven. You can target investors. You're the high roller. Is the person who targets investors, is he going to have the same unique value proposition as the person who wants to be community driven? You want everything to just be aligned, and you can change it. You can be flexible and change your strategy whenever you want. This is specific to the Pokemon card business now. I'm giving away money here. I'm literally giving away money here. 3 stories. You have the girl in the boy's world is one story you're telling. You have the I want high rollers and investors, and that's another story. And you have the family oriented store. 3 off the top of my head. The girl in a boy's world, this is an underdog story. We know how the underdog story works. You face challenges, prove haters wrong. Your whole thing is going to be you are breaking stereotypes in a TCG world, vlogs. You're probably going to exclusively own the market on any woman who starts getting into TCG. They're going to love your content more than these guys because you have a unique viewpoint that resonates with them. They're going to watch your content, they're going to be your target audience, and they're going to spike your views. You can expose the dark side of the hobby. You can collab with other women. A whole different content strategy can come off of the story that you tell. You're in the Pokemon card business, but the story you tell, like, it resonates with people on a deeper level. Let's say you're the high roller guy, for example. You're thinking of the alpha investments type content. A lot of his content, like, he's like, hey, I have the top position in Magic the Gathering, whatever it happens to be. The high roller is going to be like opening, I don't know, $10,000 sealed box, right? You're gonna have this kind of content. You're catering to somebody else. Pokemon investing versus stocks. Again, Alpha Investments is a good guy to kind of see how this works. It's a little different. He's gonna have authority because he has data on high value transactions and things like that. This guy has data, he has authority. He can be like, I've sold 10,000 boxes. I know more about this than you. And he can speak with more authority. The family oriented, you could obviously talk about parents and kids bonding over time through Pokemon. It's heartwarming stuff. Your content could be like family pack battles. It could be like a meet our customers, or like you giving packs to kids on Christmas and like them smiling if their parents are okay with you recording them, whatever it is, right? You can talk about these stories that are happening in your store that the high roller investors, they don't get these stories. Stories of kids winning tourneys. This guy isn't going to win on price, but he's going to get loyalty. The family oriented stuff is going to appeal to nostalgia. I know I didn't spell that right. I probably still didn't spell that right, but the high roller investor, that's going to appeal to like the business people. People like you who want to start a TCG business are going to over index on the high roller. And if you happen to be a dad, you're going to also index in the family oriented. And if you're a woman or you have a sister, you're also going to index in the girl and boys world. If you're still with me, here's your plan, guys. Okay. First thing you're going to do is to start selling trading card games online. You're going to sell Pokemon online. You're going to learn the process. What boxes to use, what packs to use, when to use bubble wrap, when to use painter's tape, or do you not use painter's tape? Are shipping shields better than using these things? I can't think of the name right now. I don't know. Learn to make a profit selling online or sell at a loss. As long as you are selling online, understand eBay, understand TCG Player, and you're going to end up having a bias towards one of them. eBay, you'll make more money on. TCG Player will save you a heck of a lot of time. The real question is TCG Player ends up being easier. You will probably make less money on TCG Player, but you will get to a point where the time you save selling on TCG Player, you get to a point where TCG Player actually makes you more money. So TCG Player will make you more money in the end, especially if you're in the single scene, but still, you're going to have a bias towards one of them, and that bias eventually is going to shift into either TCG Player if you're selling sealed or singles, or it's going to shift to eBay if you're selling like PSA cards or high value sealed. Have most of your reviews in one place. You're going to get to the point like me where you're going to want your own website. Don't do this out the gate. It doesn't make sense. Let's say Happy Tiger Gaming is $30 a month. I think it's $65. I'm not sure, whatever it is. Why pay that? You get to a point where paying your own website fee is less than the eBay/TCG Player 14% that they take. Now, if you're on eBay, you can upgrade to an eBay store, and that gives you more visibility, and it changes the equation a little bit. There's a point where an eBay store is better than owning your own website and selling on eBay or TCG Player. It's somewhere in the middle. So here's some basic math real quick. Let's say it takes $30 a month for a website, and let's say TCG Player takes a 14% fee. You need $270.27. This is your break-even point right here, where if you're making above $270, you save money by paying this instead of paying this. You also have to subtract marketing fees. And I didn't write this because I don't know how good you are at marketing. Maybe you can create TikToks and you don't have to pay for ads because your TikToks are taking over, or you've decided that you're going to get good at it. So you don't have to pay $10 in ad spend to get $40 in sales. You don't have to do this. Or if you're really good at ads, if you're really good at digital marketing, maybe $10 in ad spend makes you $90 in sales, and it's the go-to strategy now. And you don't even need to worry about organic content. This is the skill part of business. So if you're not good at marketing, if you know you're not going to make it and you can't make these sales, you don't know how to run Facebook ads or whatever, why bother? Get an eBay store, stay on TCG Player. I think as you move the tiers up, you get better visibility anyway. A business is only taking 14%. If you can't make money on that, how are you going to make money paying thousands in rent every month, right? You're going to start thinking of your unique value proposition or the story that you're going to tell through social media, what makes you you, what makes you special. You're going to start thinking of that story that you want to tell. Like it can only help if you want to move to a website, if you want to win on social media, and it can't hurt. I do want to mention, I never tried it. It doesn't have to be eBay or TCG Player. There's rip and ship platforms, or I think you could sell directly on Instagram. So or on TikTok. TikTok Shop is the thing. So if you over index on TikTok, if you suck at selling on TCG Player, but on TikTok you can sell and make a profit, how about putting more eggs in that basket? Everyone says diversify. If only one thing's making you profit, how about you get good at that first? And with the extra money and extra time you save, now you start diversifying maybe. You're gonna share the process like Pokenay on TikTok. You're gonna like Rudy. It's going to bring more awareness to your platform. You can share your story. If you're not good at TCG, that's still a story that people will resonate with, bro. It's free content. Here's the super important one. Scale carefully. How much business are you going to gain from the store? Have you calculated it with math? If you're going to gain $500 in business from starting a store, but it's going to cost you $1,500 in rent and utilities, then is that going to make sense to get a store? It's an investment. Over the long term, you can improve this. There's also risks. You might lose more money. A lot of things to think about. So I forgot to mention this, there's a step between owning your own online store and owning an actual store. It's going to shows. Going to shows lets you sell in person. It lets you see the whole experience. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay overhead. You pay like $30 and you go to a show, and now you can sell in person. And you save on fees, and you don't even have to pay for website maintenance. You just paid $30 to go to the show instead of $30 for the website. So going to shows is that in-between phase. When it financially makes sense to go to a show, especially for the experience, I recommend you do that. If this brought you any value, please subscribe. That's all I ask. Bye. Okay, bye now. Bye.